Next movie is Skyline. Skyline, I know a lot of people didn't like it, alright? But I think it's a little unfair to call this like one of the worst ever. Because when I watched it, it really is not one of the worst ever. I mean, it's boring, yeah, but it's not overwhelmingly terrible like movies like Catwoman. Like, Skyline, where it really suffers from, is from story. Like, the story isn't like confusing or complicated. It's more just like they kind of wrote themselves into a trap. Like, when you have these kinds of villains where they're so strong that like you can't even go outside, that all they can do is watch, you kind of run yourself into a trap because they can't run away, they can't fight back, they can't escape from something. You're kind of just trapped in the room. That's they wrote themselves into a trap. And so pretty much the entire movie, you're just watching a bunch of people sitting there, um, arguing amongst each other, and like they you know, you're not really watching like an exciting movie. Like, you're just watching a bunch of people complain that there are aliens outside. And here's why. And I know I meant by, I know I said like they wrote themselves into a trap, but what I mean by wrote themselves into a trap is like the whole premise is like you have a bunch of rich college, not college, I'm used to saying college, to a bunch of rich kids who go to LA because the black guy from Scrubs, I think his name is Turk, like he plays a character here, and he's having a birthday party in LA. So when in the aftermath of the party, aliens come down from the sky, and already it's like you'll notice that it's very like this would be a movie on the Sci-Fi Channel, because the effects are, I wouldn't say terrible, but you don't really believe them. You don't really believe that you're seeing aliens. That's what I'm trying to say. And everyone already says that the quality of this movie should be like sci-fi channel movie quality. I have to agree. Anyways, so aliens come down, and then there a lot of people are killed. I mean, like they're doing this thing where if you stare into like the light that they're shooting, that a bunch of your face would get all messed up, and you'd walk towards the light where they would, you know, suck you up. And they're trying to, you know, they're trying to play on the thing where UFOs suck you up by like, it's kind of like the thing from Finding Nemo where like it lures you in with the light. Yes. And and then there's, I mean, when I mentioned Finding Nemo, it's like a lot of the ideas are stolen in this movie. Like, you know, it's kind of hard to be original, but if you're ripping off something, like um, try to keep it like vague. Like, it's kind of obvious that they got the idea for the aliens from the Matrix, because they got the octopus like tentacles, and then they got, you know, the theme from War of the Worlds, and main characters aren't original. Like, you have like typical stereotypes and on and on and on. And they actually got the brain sucking idea from Fairly Odd Parents. Like, they suck your brains out. I'm not even joking. That like their machines are powered by brains, which brings up a lot of like questions. Like, how come their machines are powered by brains? Like, what's powering them in the first place? Like, that kind of thing. And yeah, there's a lot of ripping off in this, but now I'm going off topic, but I was trying to explain what the movie was. Oh yeah. So in the movie, they're, you know, they're trying to escape the aliens. So like they go on the roof, and then you see that picture in the trailer, on the poster, where they're like staring and they're seeing all the humans getting sucked up, and then the aliens see them and they shoot at them, but they get back in the building. So the roof is out. And then they come up with a plan to try to escape with cars, but then the aliens, like, immediately, like, right after the first car exits the building, it gets smushed. So, exiting the building's out. And so, they hide back inside the hotel room and they barricade themselves. Like, okay, they don't really barricade themselves, but they kind of just, like, close the blinds so they can't see them. And then from there on, they're just watching the aliens sitting, complaining, watching. Yeah. I mean, that's all you're watching. It's boring. It's like, even the action scenes are boring. Like, because after that, you know what you're gonna watch? Nothing. You're not gonna watch. You're not watching anything. I mean, if they cut out all the parts where they're just like waiting and sitting, the movie would be a lot shorter. And yeah, I got nothing else to say about the movie. Like, everything else is fine, actually. Like, the acting was okay. And I said the effects were like, they weren't that spectacular, but they weren't bad. And the ending, like, a lot of people didn't like the ending, but the ending for me was, it's like how I would have ended a B movie. Like, that's how I would have ended a sci-fi movie. I mean, if if you just want, if you want, like, to create a movie that's really campy, you would have this kind of ending. Like, I mean, I can't even explain how this ending would work, because it really wouldn't. Like, in the ending, the dude, when he gets his brain sucked out, he becomes an alien, but he retains control. Try to work that. Okay, that's all I got for Skyline.